No.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
Oh no!
Boom! Perfect shot.
And it ended in the way that it should. Sometimes a story ends in the way that the story should end. It always should have ended with Anthony Joshua knocking out Jake Paul. And that's exactly what we got. But I think it's time that people give Paul some credit for what he did, what he has done for boxing.
He's hurt. Oh. It's over. It's over.
Hey, my boxing knowledge is impeccable. 6 rounds.
Man, he got up again.
My 50,000 is safe.
Just to follow up on Jake, he said he broke his jaw in the aftermath. Has he gone to hospital? What's the health update on Jake?
Yeah, we think he broke his jaw. He's fine. We met with Netflix afterwards. He took a shower. He drove himself to the hospital. A broken jaw is very common in sports, particularly in boxing or MMA, and I think the recovery time from the doctors and surgeons we've already talked to is 4 to 6 weeks.
So AJ didn't step into that cage looking to entertain anybody. He showed up like a guy punching the clock for his 9 to 5. Except his benefits package includes breaking faces, and he had zero interest in running around chasing some internet celebrity.
It was a bit messy, but from a systematical breakdown, the right hand landed, it found his home, and the referee waved it off after. Did he get counted out or did the ref wave it off?
I believe he got counted out.
So the right hand found his home.
Counted.
I would have loved to have landed some more body shots, but it weren't for tonight, maybe in the future, but we got the job done in the end.
Right from the start of round 1, you could tell Jake was moving around like somebody who forgot something important at home. Just circling and circling while AJ moved forward like a freight train that knows exactly where it's going. Cutting off the ring the way old school heavyweights do it. No panic, no wasted energy, just pure calculated doom.
I think he did what he had to do. He went out there, took his time, chased him down, unloaded and got the knockout. So it's what we were expecting. I thought it'd be earlier, but he got the job done. So congratulations to Joshua.
What's next for Jake Paul? Should he retire? Should he fight on?
He can do whatever he wants. If he wants to continue.
What about Joshua? You want to beat with Joshua?
Always.
Now look, I gotta give Jake some props here because he actually made Joshua miss a few times early. Through some jabs, and there were definitely moments where his fan base was losing their minds like, see, we told you he's legend. But here's the reality check. This wasn't some nightclub dance floor. This was a demolition site and AJ came dressed for construction. Every single clinch turned into a lesson about what happens when real weight meets you to weight. Joshua basically using him as a human lean to like, here, hold this for a second.
Expected that, you know?
You expected him to last?
I mean, I expected Jake to fight the way he fought.
Right.
You know, trying to stay away. You don't know if how long that's gonna last. You know, Joshua has something to say about that. So you don't know, but I'm not shocked, I'm not surprised.
Right. Were you, I don't know, impressed by anything Jake did? Maybe getting, I mean, he took a right hand to heavyweights have taken and got
Jake
up.
is tough, man, and that's what I try to tell people when they try to completely discredit him. No, Jake Paul is not the face of boxing, and yes, that's disrespectful to the guys that been doing it from the crib, but you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, bro. Like, he's been training and he knows enough in that ring to be able to, you know, protect himself, and he's a tough kid.
Dude was apping his stamina like a battery drain, stealing oxygen out of his lungs, making that whole ring feel like it was shrinking every time Joshua took a step closer. And by the time we hit the middle rounds, Jake wasn't executing any kind of strategy anymore. He was literally just trying to survive, looking for a break that boxing doesn't offer. Even the ref got frustrated and basically told both of them, look, I get it. Netflix wrote a big check, but we're not filming some wrestling show here.
I knew we were going to beat him, but I didn't expect it to go as many rounds as it did. And I think Jake deserved a huge amount of credit because I know he ran and held, but he did throw shots at times. But where I think he deserves credit is he took some punishment. And that shot was a similar right hand that flattened Ngannou and put him to sleep. And I know it shattered Jake Paul's jaw and broke his jaw, but he was, I mean, it wasn't okay, but he was on, you know, he was awake. So I've got to give him credit. I think he's a crazy
Then round 6 comes around and AJ finally sees his opening and that right hand connects like it was born for this exact moment. Shipped Jake's jawbone straight to Antarctica with no ticket back. Lights out, fight done, Twitter in shambles, and that's what a heavyweight education looks like. It wasn't some flashy knockout sequence, it wasn't unnecessary brutality. It was just pure grown man energy, the kind of pressure that reminds everybody watching that having swagger is cool. And footwork is great, but when you're fighting at heavyweight, physics is undefeated. And guess where Anthony Joshua and physics hang out on weekends?
That what happened what was always going to happen. You know, a lot of people thought it would only last 1 round, 2 rounds, but you know, you got to give Jake credit. You know, he went out there and had a solid game plan and was implementing it at times, was landing shots and was avoiding getting hit with the big shots. You know, but there's a reason we have weight categories in boxing, and I'd say he sticks with, you know, the cruiserweight division where the guys are the same size as him, because that, you know, without having the schooling, the many years, I was able to give away 100 pounds in weight because I've been boxing since I was.
And then as everybody catches their breath and the arena quiets down, we transition from all that ring warfare into the post-fight interview where AJ sounds like somebody who just finished overtime at work and is already thinking about what he needs to fix tomorrow. And honestly, I'm sitting here listening to him break everything down and loving every second of it. No celebratory nonsense, no pounding his chest, just that raw heavyweight self-awareness like, yeah, I got the W, but we're not throwing parades for mediocre performances. He read Jake's movement pattern from Jump Street and decided to use pressure instead of playing tag with a ghost. Treated the whole thing like a marathon exam instead of a quick quiz. And when AJ starts talking about getting inside someone's head, that's not him being dramatic, that's literally a threat. Heavyweight fighters don't just attack your body, they move in and start charging rent inside your brain.
An hour. There's 2 things I would have done. Tried to shut Jake down at 100 miles an hour, or I would have gone on the back foot. So Jake decided to move around the ring and I decided to put the pressure on. What I could have done better is a lot of things, 100%. In the fight game, you've seen the amazing fighters that have graced us over the last 100 years, and the expectations that we put on ourselves are immense, but I tried my best.
Where credit belongs, he handed it over, showing Jake Paul some genuine respect for having the heart to sign up and actually walk down that aisle. Because let's be honest, tons of people talk big from their living rooms, but never actually step through those ropes. And then Eddie Hearn shows up sounding like the responsible adult in the building. Somewhere between proud papa and deeply relieved, basically saying, look, this was always going to be a massive challenge. But at least we had someone willing to climb instead of just posting about it online. Eddie straight up acknowledging the fight was lopsided but still tipping his hat to Jake for lasting, adapting, and not getting put to sleep horizontal. That right there is genuine boxing respect, not petty points.
Can't give him anything but credit and respect. There's a lot of negative people out there. There's a lot of people who want to criticise people. They're not doing what Jake Paul's done. He just went in with Anthony Joshua and gave it his best shot. Took a lot of punishment and ended the fight eventually on his feet after the stoppage. So, you know, I think he'll have to see physically how that jaw, I don't know the severity of it. It's a very difficult injury to come back from, but he showed he's got ability, and that's what we said. You know, he's dedicated to the game.
And what really gets me is how AJ is still not satisfied with himself. That's champion DNA talking. He's out here saying you can't build a career off social media wins or clips going viral. You either keep improving or you fade into nothing. And when he starts mentioning future plans and coaches who are helping him cut out distractions, that's a fighter basically announcing, I'm still in the shop sharpening this blade. So if anybody thought tonight was just entertainment, then you missed the whole point. What actually happened was confidence going up against expertise, aggression running into patience, and a heavyweight proving once again that personal development doesn't end when the bell rings.
The best promoter in the world has been speaking with Turkey, His Excellency, Riyadh season, and now he's going to relay those messages and speak to my training team. The Right to Fight team, they're going to have conversations, they're going to speak to my manager, and everyone's going to kind of see where I'm at. My training team know my body really well, they know what I've been through over the X amount of weeks I've been with them. So it's up to them to make a decision. They're going to speak with Eddie, and then hopefully in a week or so, I'll have some news. I'm a strong guy. I want to push on, but the coaches, it's really up to them.
And straight after AG and Eddie finish up with that calm dose of reality, the broadcast cuts over to Logan Paul, who sounds exactly like the world's most emotional big brother that just witnessed complete mayhem and draw courage. Happens simultaneously, and listening to him right now you can feel it in his voice. This isn't him playing a character for content, this is straight family loyalty kicking in at full force. He's basically screaming forget what the judges thought. Forget how it looked online, my little brother just stood in there with a man who looks like he was sculpted from stone and absolutely refused to give up. And just doing that completely changes expectations from here on out. And yeah, I know he's biased, but he's got a point about one thing. Most humans won't even throw practice punches alone in front of a mirror, let alone share canvas with a heavyweight who swings like your mortgage payment depends on it.
I'm just so proud of him. That was incredible. In my view, that was a victory on all fronts.
Right.
Like, minus the actual victory, obviously, of course, but bro, like, no one expected him to last 6 rounds with AJ. In my opinion, he won 4 of them. People will argue that. He at least won 3. No one expected him to last that long. Rolled his ankle, broke his jaw, still fighting, man. Like, that's toughness.
Logan describing how Jake twisted his ankle, kept fighting with a broken jaw situation, and still tried to compete. Sounds more like he's reading an incident report from a disaster movie instead of a boxing recap. But honestly, the funniest moment is Logan admitting he probably talked too much trash and poked the bear a little harder than he should have. And then immediately realizing, oh right, that bear literally gets spayed to throw hands. That's sibling energy in its most pure, unfiltered form. Hype up your family member, antagonize the dangerous guy. Then watch the laws of nature take over, and I actually respect the way he's framing everything here. He's not pretending it went perfectly, he's not pretending it was smooth sailing. Just genuinely proud that Jake didn't disappear mentally when everything went sideways. You can make fun of how optimistic that sounds, you can argue about who won what rounds. But the truth is, confidence at that level doesn't come from being delusional. It comes from surviving an experience that 99% of humans wouldn't even consider doing in a video game. And whether you're Team Jake, Team Doubter, or just somebody who tuned in for the chaos, moments like this are exactly why these events start debates that keep going way past the last punch.
Most people wouldn't have the balls ever to step in a boxing ring in their life. He stepped in a boxing ring with one of the baddest men on the planet, who's 40 pounds heavier than him and 6 inches taller. That's insane. He's one of the most skilled fighters on the planet. My brother, as a YouTuber, went 6 rounds with him in a fight with a broken jaw and rolled ankle. I'm so proud of him. That was just unbelievable.
I saw you talking crap to AJ at one point.
I was trying to get his head. I think I pissed him off. I was just saying that. I love AJ. But bro,
I saw you going them.
I was talking so much. But I just pissed him off. Then he broke my brother's jaw. This guy.
Broke his jaw, huh?
Yeah, he split his jaw.
And immediately following all that brotherly love energy from Logan, everything shifts into something much colder and much sharper and way less emotional when DC steps up to the mic, because now we're not talking about feelings anymore. We're talking about what actually happened in there. Listening to Daniel Cormier and thinking, yeah, this is somebody who spent time in rooms where happy endings get kicked out by security before they even sit down. DC wasn't disrespectful about it, he wasn't throwing shade. He was surgical with his analysis, basically saying what most people were too polite to admit out loud. Having belief in yourself is adorable, and having good footwork is useful, but eventually the weight catches up with you. You could hear it when he mentioned Joshua representing the sport of boxing. Like this wasn't personal, this was about the craft defending its own legacy. And when DC makes that joke about somebody betting $20 on Jake like they were scratching a lottery ticket.
Some people believe in fairy tales. Whoever believed that Jake Paul was gonna win, that was an absolute fairy tale. I've got a friend in a group message that said, I just put $20 on Jake Paul to win. I was like, bro, you just wasted your money. There was never a world in which Jake Paul was going to beat Anthony Joshua. It was always a matter of how the fight would end.
That wasn't even supposed to be funny. That was some hard truth disguised as humor. He acknowledged Jake's guts absolutely, but made it crystal clear this wasn't some superhero movie where the underdog discovers magical abilities in the 6th round. This was a heavyweight methodically collecting information until the battery finally died. DC noticed the desperation, the running, the clinching, the pure survival mode, and he read all of it like he was studying a textbook. When a massive human being keeps walking toward you without rushing, he's not confused about the game plan, he's just being patient. And then DC really gets into it, and this part gets uncomfortable in that honest way because he starts breaking down body language, pressure tactics, and that invisible weight you feel when somebody bigger just refuses to speed up. I love that part of the analysis because it's the stuff casual viewers don't catch. Joshua wasn't anxious out there, he was letting the clock do the damage.
So the fight starts. Joshua cannot catch up to Jake. You can see very clearly that the game plan was for Paul to kind of run and frustrate Anthony Joshua over the course of this fight. And through the first few rounds, it was working. Hell, in the first round, neither one of them landed a damn punch. And that's the problem with boxing. The problem with boxing is you can get these fights that have all this hype and nothing happens.
DC pointing out all the wrestling sequences, the shot attempts. The ref looking completely bewildered by what he's seeing. That was him essentially saying, yeah, this is what goes down when two completely different worlds slam into each other. And when he describes the exact second that Joshua figured out, wait, your hardest shot doesn't even move me, that's the turning point right there. That's when competitive fights stop being competitive and start being math problem solving themselves. DC didn't treat the finish like some highlight reel moment. He presented it like an inevitable conclusion, not vicious. Not over the top, just accurate, and here's the tightrope he walked perfectly. Jake earned genuine respect just for stepping in, but the rings still deliver the truth. No tricks, no workarounds, no viral hacks, just a heavyweight equation working itself out in front of millions of people. Me, you, everybody watching, that wasn't hype crumbling apart. That was reality stepping up to the microphone and going, yeah, this still works exactly how it's supposed to.
Sometimes a story ends in the way that the story should end. It always should have ended with Anthony Joshua knocking out Jake Paul. And that's exactly what we got. But I think it's time that people give Paul some credit for what he did, what he has done for boxing, and his ability and willingness to stand in there.
So when you put all the pieces together, tonight wasn't about making fun of somebody for believing in themselves, and it wasn't about crowning hype over substance. It was about watching that belief get stress-tested by years of experience. Constant pressure and relentless patience, Jake brought heart, bravery, and the kind of self-confidence that forces massive opportunities into existence. But AJ brought the receipts showing why heavyweight boxing still operates on fundamentals. Timing and accountability. One dude was chasing something he could see in his head. The other one was enforcing how things actually work. And the ring didn't pick favorites or argue with either of them, it just picked whoever earned it.